Hi, my name is Paul Mnisi. A lot of people know me as Rude Boy Paul. I am a musician, I am a radio and TV presenter, poet, as well as producer. Now, I'm concerned as an artist about the current provisions within the Copyright Amendment Bill and how they'll affect us as creators. Now, here are some of the aspects that will affect us negatively as artists or creators, as it were. The bill says that no royalties will be paid to creators such as musicians, book authors, and filmmakers if their material is used for educational purposes. So if anyone writes a song, a book, or a film, and another person uses it in a school or university, for instance, the creator will not get any royalties from the use of their material. The bill also says that users of our material will have the same rights as us, the creators of this material. Now, this means that, for example, a user of music can share royalties from music that was written by an artist, even though they did not write the music themselves. The bill also says that if you're a music performer, you will share your needle time royalties not only with your record company, as it is at the moment, but you'll also share your needle time royalties with composers, users, and the respective collecting society. That means that there'll be less money to be shared because the bill has added other beneficiaries. Here are some of the things that my fellow creators had to say about this particular bill.
Copyright is a system that has been put in place to protect the rights of creators, whether they're authors, composers, and other types of creatives, protecting their rights and balancing them with the public interest for the public to enjoy the use of the works created by those creatives. So it's a balancing system.
A system where, in terms of the law grants to the authors and creators of creative works certain exclusive rights in relation to their works. And those rights have to do with them having the exclusive rights to use the works that they have created and also to authorize others to use those works. So nobody else can do that without their authorization.
Well, the new proposed copyright amendment bill it caught many of us by surprise. First of all, it has not been really brought to the surface for all the creators of the musical works to deliberate on it and share ideas and have talks about it, whereby we could find whether it's in our favor or not. But already there are certain sections of it that suggest things that are going to affect us.
As a performer, as a creator, I earn a living. Virtually my salary comes from my work. So the royalties that I earn from the works that I create need to stay within my ambit, right? And what the bill is doing is creating an unjust environment in which we lose out on our work.
I think the bill works counteractive to the desires, the dreams, and the wishes of our people, especially the creatives. We are as creatives, whether we're writers or people who do pottery or fashion stylists or designers or musicians, whoever who's involved in creating, who's dreaming up their work, it's quite important that we own the copyright. But not only that we gain economically and in terms of heritage, and our children and our children's children should benefit.
As creators of music, we are now going to be only subjected to a once-off payment, which is problematic because then you'll remember that in current situation, if you're commissioned to do a score, then you also then benefit from royalties each time your music is used. So if that has to be taken away, I think it's a big blow for us as music composers. And I don't think, if you really respect the art and the work that we put together, that would be a great way of looking at it.
It is said that at a time in our country where music creators are supposed to finally get compensated for their work, the law that is supposed to be the driver of this advancement, it's supposed to protect us, is actually now about to work against us. And for me, that is very sad and disappointing indeed.
personally as a songwriter and personally as a person who works with artists a lot and work with composers and see how they sustain themselves with the talent, with their God-given talent. And the things that have been proposed on the bill, I see them as very, very, very unfair to them. I mean, labantu basebenzela ingane zabo, basebenzela future yabo. And italent labo ilona kuphela into abanayo.
It's very worrying when the user who uses our art, the creator, has more power over us.
I am completely disturbed by some of the points that are in this new bill that is before Parliament. They're calling it fair usage, and there's nothing fair about it.
If now the government is going to interfere in terms of the ownership of IP, I think the ownership of IP has to be a conversation between the creators of IP and whoever else that they're engaging with. From what I've read, the bill seems to be saying that if somebody comes, whether it's an international organization or it's government, and then they fund you, then they own the IP. That for me is interfering with the space that basically should be making sure that some of us exploit our intellectual property.
Kusenokuningi esikucelile ngathi nje kuhulumeni okungakenziwa. Kumanje umculo wethu sesagcwele emgwaqweni, sicelile kakhulu uhulumeni ukuthi akasize umculo wethu uqedwe ukuthi uthengise emgwaqweni, umculo uthengwe ngendlela efanele. Kodwa manje mase kuzotholakala ukuthi sekuphinda futhi kuqhamuke ezinye izinto manje ezifana nalomthetho ngathi ufuna ukuphasiswa. Lokho sithina sibona ngathi kuyahlukumeza kakhulu ngoba kunezinto esisayicelile esingakafezi kumanje.
Disrespectful of the artist's craft, and I also think it's a violation of intellectual property. I think there are problems that we're facing in the music industry. I think those are the things that should be attended to.
The fact that the current bill perhaps doesn't speak to all the needs as they present themselves currently to the creative industry, and it needs amendment, is a very valid approach as well. Whether the bill in its current form is going to satisfy those needs is a point of conjecture. However, we're in the process of consulting, and that's very, very good.
I think the bill that the Portfolio Committee wants to pass is a complete disaster and a curse to the artists of this country. Because what it will do, it will forever leave the artists poorer than they are. They are already poor, and we have been complaining to the government about the fact that the artists are not looked after in this country.
Is that some of the clauses, they tip this balance. I described that there's a balance. They tip the scale in favor of users. At the face of it, that may not seem like a bad thing, but the bill takes away, those clauses in the bill take away a lot of rights that a lot of creatives rely on to protect the works that they create. So now you find that the bill is saying that in certain circumstances, someone or an organization, and here I'm not just talking about a person using, when I talk about a user, we talk about global digital service providers, your online content, search engines, etc., now have rights in the works created by the creator. And that means that the royalties that you used to earn as a songwriter, now you have to share them with the entity or the person who's using that song. It just doesn't make sense.
Now, I live and I make music off the compensation that I receive from my music. These provisions in the bill are about to not only have a negative impact on my career and livelihood, but they're about to kill the creative process that makes South African music possible. I mean, why? Because soon, no one is going to have the extra time or afford the resources to make music.
As a songwriter, person who works with artists a lot and work with composers and see how they sustain themselves with the talent. And the things that have been proposed on the bill, I see them as very, very, very unfair to them. I mean, labantu basebenzela ingane zabo, basebenzela future yabo. And italent labo ilona kuphela into abanayo. So isn't a proposal on the bill talking about music wabo being used for free for educational stuff.
The law of licensing is that they must pay me for the usage of my music. If I'm going to drive my car on the road now, as a road user, I will need a license. Do I now go to the road or road whatever and say, oh, you made these billions from me using the road, share with me because now I have a license. You gave me a license. You license me to use the road and I pay. I don't come back and ask you to share with me whatever, right? Because it's your road. So in this case, the music is my music, right? You use it, you pay.
So sections of this new bill will allow the user to earn money in the same way that the creator earns money of material that is not theirs, material they did not create. And this is fundamentally unethical and goes against copyright laws around the world. I mean, there's something really wrong with this picture. And frankly, it's greed. It's incredibly upsetting because publishing and the money that we earn as composers and songwriters off those creations is one of our main sources of revenue. You know, the way that artists and songwriters earn money, it's ever changing these days. This is one reliable source of revenue for us.
What I think about the bill is, or rather certain sections of the bill is that it's a huge disadvantage to copyright as a whole, you know. And personally, I don't understand it. I don't understand the root of it, and I don't know why it would be applied.
As it is in this country, artists are not getting enough royalties. When I say enough, I'm talking about the percentage structure. I mean, let alone them trying to make our work freely available without any compensation. That is even worse. It's counter-revolutionary, in fact. The bill, it pretends that it wants to free modes and research of education and make these things freely available for our people. But we are of our people. We are our people. We come from our people. We speak with our people. We feed our people, not only creatively, but financially as well. So if you take away this, what are we going to be? What are we going to feed them with? What's left of us?
You know, we receive royalties 4 times a year. And with those royalties, I pay school fees. I pay for my bond. My body of work, as young as I am, goes back 14 years. That's 14 years of income. 14 years that you've allowed me to provide for my family.
Royalties, man, they're so important in my life. I've seen them changing a lot of people's lives, like, because sometimes, most of the time, you work from people who have nothing and you see them having something. To have a direct income coming from the organizations like SAMRO and stuff like that.
You know, earning royalties has made a lot of difference in my life because royalties are something that come periodically. So you might be struggling for a while, and you are able to give hope. You know, all of us musicians have had a lot of debtors breathing down their necks, but you are able to go and say, hey, you know, I'm a musician, and we get our royalties periodically. In such and such a month, in March, I'll be getting my royalties, the bulk of my royalties. Please, can you allow my children to come into school in the meantime? So royalties have provided a periodical relief in my life.
Through the royalties that I've earned, I've been able to build studios, I've been able to employ people to work and to manage those studios. But most of all, I've been able to support my family and to live off my music.
Earning royalties is like earning a salary, like earning a regular salary. Knowing that when I create music, when I create the works that I do, or perform the works of colleagues who will earn royalties also, makes you feel affirmed that you are entitled to a salary. It is like earning a salary for anybody who goes to work and does a 9-to-5 job on a daily basis. And so knowing that I will have, or I do have access to this income makes it easier, makes it possible rather, to take care of those that I need to take care of. It is empowering, it is affirming, it it makes you feel that you're making, it provides a kind of dignity for you as a creator of music.
I think the bill that the Portfolio Committee wants to pass is a complete disaster and a curse to the artists of this country.
Before you rush, before you apply your political mindsets, put on your community, your local, regional, country, street level caps, your mindset, and think just like artists.
I think the ownership of IP has to be a conversation between the creators of IP and whoever else that they're engaging with.
You did not talk to us. We did not deliberate on this. Let's sit down. Let's do and amend the bill according to the way that is favorable for all of us so that we can have a fluent, non-confrontational, and very open kind of dealing. Music is my business.
I would remind Parliament that the Bill of Rights guarantees us the right to property. Copyright is intellectual property. As such, I look up to you, Parliament, to protect my intellectual property.
It's critical. The royalty distribution for creative professionals in the industry is vital.
We look to the Portfolio Committee to help protect us. Please don't pass this bill as it is.
Masizothathelwa nalokho esikuthorayo manje uyabona mfethu lento uthi vele inzima kanjani. Futhi nje thina singasho nje mfethu impela kuqonda ukuthi cha siyaphikisana nje thina nalomthetho impela mfethu.
I would like to say, please protect us. Protect the rights of the creator. Without us, there's no content, there's no music, there's no creation.
It's very worrying when the user who uses our art, the creator, has more power over us and benefits more than us. This is our livelihood.